victory against MBE.
Absolutely. And yeah, now we see nice camera work from the VCS observers. All pre-recorded segment. It's actually not pre-recorded. It's all Sejuani with the power skin. So if they happen to have pre-recorded every potential skin and champion choice, then it would be even more impressive, gotta say. But either way, we load into the Rift. Level 1 action, not really something that you really do anymore. Even if you have like something like Fresh and Bomb, you could definitely fight something in the level 1, but it's just some line in the sand basically being drawn. Nobody wants to really flip anything. MBE, however, could afford it, right? I mean, they don't really have anything to lose anymore and could go for some fancy plays, but they
We have
don't
double
really see
Gathering
themselves going for
Storm
so.
on our ADCs here. Nimbus Cloak for slows against Absolute Focus on Slader, so a little bit of extra damage for Slader, a little bit of extra mobility for slows, both with late game summoners too, Ghost against Cleanse, so we are looking at a long game, especially from the ADC perspective. Wouldn't be surprised to see double Cull here coming into this game, as they are firmly looking at late game scaling. I want to ask you about the top lane though, because both of these top laners went for Grasp, which usually on the Malphite especially, you have some options in terms of rune choices. You can go very safe and just go Comet, Q-Poke, Comet, and try to last it from afar.
That would not be safe actually, because then you're very, very squishy and can actually die to the Cassandra pretty quickly. Especially in those matchups where you happen to like fight melee versus melee and really just have fist fight with each other, you definitely want to have Grasp. And the Comet is something that you can take if you have like Malphite against Jace, Malphite against Minina, for example, where you can actually use a Comet to have like additional kill pressure, additional poke pressure. If you would use Comet against Cassandra, you would just deal 20 or 30 damage more and he would just laugh at you because it doesn't really make a difference. And Comet is better like to have like this high mana sustain because you can combine it with mana flow band. That's like the usual thing that Malphites like to have. Otherwise, they can also just like sit on a tier and never really complete it, as Fimbulwinter is not a good item right now, and just go for other tank options, right? The Sunfire Cape, the Frozen Heart. Usually like a mythic. Currently, Iceborne Gauntlet should be good, as he's still very much like the Sheen, and also the overall stats the items really give. That's why I think Grasp is anything but a surprise. It's actually quite common here. And yeah, it will probably be a very late game, considering also SBTC has 2 AD carries in the lineup.
Oh, come on. You sat right on top of that cannon minion. That was disappointing. But yeah, bot lane did actually go for double Cull, which does signal a farm fest, but honestly, Cull actually makes this lane a little bit more interesting because no additional stats mean, and not the same amount of sustain as Longsword and 3 potions would give you, means both of these ADCs can be vulnerable, especially to engages from the jungle, maybe. They don't have heal either, so no added HP from any source in this bot lane. 2 very squishy marksmen fighting it off against each other in the bot lane, so I want to keep one eye at least on the bot lane, especially in this early laning phase, as there could be an explosive engage coming.
There could be, and I really want to see the scoreboard. We might just see triple Cull, and we actually do!
Yeah!
It's triple Cull! Yeah, both ADCs on the one side and also the enemy ADC on the side of SBTC going for the Cull. So yeah, you're
Where are the top lane Culls?
Cull not giving the base HP. I actually know a Cull enjoyer in the Primix scene that I cast frequently. He actually plays like something like Seraphine bot lane and also goes Cull on that one, and then the tier. You don't like it, right? But I mean, if he has a free farming lane, why not? I mean, might as well go for it. You just get the 100 stacks anyway. Either way. Back to the game itself, we see DNK. Why is he there? Why did he go for enemy chickens? Either way,
that's a risky jump from DR1. Nugu and DR1 both in trouble. DR1 super low. Who gets the first kill? Double flash at the same time. Everyone flashing away, but Tom Rio is still on the chase. Tom Rio will have the execution. MBE walks away with the first blood. What an explosive start to this 2v2 skirmishing.
And DNK just guessed wrong. He thought that Nugo was flashing into the chicken pit, so he flashed the chicken pit. And if he actually guessed correctly, he get the kill, then it would be a reset for the rocket jump for DR1. He actually gets out, and maybe they both live.
Didn't consider that. Holy, we need to see that in slow motion again.
That's so unlucky actually. Like this 2v2 is actually playable in that sense, but DR1 actually gets stopped mid-air, so it's definitely a risky call to go for that one. And now we see. Yeah, I mean, DNK doesn't really see this nice padding from the observers, by the way. We see DNK's vision over there. He doesn't know where Nugo is really flashing towards, and yeah, he guessed wrong, so no kill for them. DR1 doesn't get a rocket jump reset, and he just falls prey to the bowler from Sejuani, or the Winter's Wrath, rather, I should say. And that's first blood for Box Esports, and a nice start for them in this game.
Absolutely. And honestly, though it did end up going in the favor of MBE, there was a little bit of a mistake made at the start of the fight for Nugu, because the Sejuani cancelled the jump of Tristana, but
Yes.
honestly, it should be possible for Nugu to just E the jump, and then she gets stunned instantly, and you can actually chain the CC with another Winter's Approach, I think it's called, the Q of Sejuani. So you have double CC. Instead, Sejuani had to use Q, but no time to talk about that, as the bot lane is in trouble. Very good Lantern out. We might, yeah, the Thresh is in trouble. Now he gets under tower. He's pretty low, but they can't execute him, and now Slow's on the chase. Slow's with purple gun, quite strong, but doesn't have the damage, with only a Cull to chase for a kill. So they walk away with just one flash invested from Zodiac. Honestly, not worth it. They traded flash from Pellet for this engage in the bot lane, and MBE's bot lane is sitting pretty.
That's way too nice of you to say that, because SBTC had a very horrible gang right there. They used 3 summoner spell for that one. It's also Ghosts of Slayer and Ignite and Play to just get absolutely nothing at the end of the day. It was just all that just for basically a lantern, basically. And yeah, Box Esports with a much better early game right now, much better than their opposition right now. And I mean, it doesn't really let that much of a gold lead, but the summoner spell disadvantage should definitely mean something. Considering something like a Drake early on for Box Esports might just be a possibility right now, as you can definitely punish that lack of ability. And yeah, Emperor going for a walk here.
A really good positioning for Nugu. Nugu knows exactly what's up. I mean, he was probably spotted on the ward there. As we can see, there's a ward in the river in top side for MBE, but Nugu just hugging the wall on the bottom side, so it's really easy for him to get out of range of Enper. Enper would have to flash ultimate on top of him. Catch him there, so really nice awareness from Nugu. Good communication. These are the little improvements MBE has really worked on the whole season. They have gotten so much better. At the end of February, this would have never happened. Nugu would probably have just died and positioned wrongly in the lane, but now he's a much better player. This team is much better coordinated. Their communication is crisper. Their vision setup looks much better. If you give them another round robin, I think they could actually challenge some of the teams.
Absolutely. I mean, they already did to Cerberus, right? They also took a game from Secret, and they were very close to taking 1 to second Buffalo as well. And also, like this game earlier we had today, I mean, not looking too shabby, I gotta say. And what is looking a bit more shabby is what's happening in the top lane. I think it's very hard for Cassandra to lose lane to Malphite, but apparently Sunma can do that one. We also saw Emperor going for a walk there, and he's still ahead in CS. I don't know quite what's really happening there. I mean, he just now is taking a wave, I think, and will equalize that CS number, or getting closer to even.
Slows dodged every single Q from Zeri. Every single one.
That's kind of disappointing, because like you have to aim your auto attacks as later, and if you just miss everything, you just don't deal damage.
It was really cool mind game there. That was something only an ADC could appreciate, the mind game between Aphelios and Zeri. They're just walking back and forth. Really cool to see.
Nice gatekeeping.
Either way. Much more interesting is the dragon take. Yeah, talk me to the dragon through the dragon here. 8 minutes. This time MBE with an early objective, and they're actually not ahead in gold, but ahead in map positioning.
They absolutely are. I mean, what lane we just not saw that Slater is already having slows in his head, right? Or the other way around. And this hook just barely gets missed on. Little spark surge even used to dodge the hook. It can't quite extend that far. And the early cloud work definitely nice to have for sort of MBE. The first like countable thing that they really win as summoner spells. If you don't punish them, it's just for nothing that they really got all the summoner spells off this one failed gank attempt by the side of SBTC Esports. And now Nugu getting donated his blue buff can definitely make use of that one. And now, I mean, it's 9th minute in. The Herald now also on the map, something that they might consider as well. Need to work on this top lane priority situation though, because Cassandra definitely needs to push out, and Malphite, even when pushed in a little bit, can usually just sacrifice some CS and just be an old bot. So Emperor, even if he would be down, would still need to be respected over there. And Tomio would definitely need to do some work to get this even rolling in the first place, as so far Emperor is winning this top lane.
Yeah, but I have to give credit to Nugu once again. Nugu is playing so respectfully so far back and still getting all the CS he needs into the Tristana matchup with one of the weakest early game champions in the game in Talio, who really needs some levels in a queue to be able to contest wave push. But look at him, 5 plating still on his turret, 2 ganks from Enper avoided just by really good positioning, while Enper had all the free reign to do whatever he wanted. We don't talk about that. And yeah, he's kinda helping out his top laner who's struggling immensely in this matchup.
Nature's Grass coming in.
Should be fine. Very good
hitting
block.
onto Tomio, but Tomio's tanky, he doesn't take damage. And I think also, to Tomio's defense, that Glacial Prism looked worse than it actually was, because it was Rocket Jump by Tier 1.
That's true.
It might have been an okay one, but it looked very, very clownish, and I think it wasn't even that bad. I mean, it wasn't good either, but it's okay. I mean, ult for basic spell, not a good trade either way. That can kind of just happen against some very starter. And
So
also
in
just
this
good,
game,
direction.
Quincy,
Yeah.
as an ADC, you got 10 minutes in. Oh, dear, once right into that E of Nugu. But yeah, you're an ADC. You started Cull. You went into the game with Gathering Storm, so everything looks at late game scaling. Now, 10 minutes in, you already completed your Cull. Do you sell Cull for a new Cull?
No. I don't know if ADCs generally do that.
No, I've never seen it before, but in this game, honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
You could do it. It's only 10 minutes in.
I mean, I think you usually don't do it because you buy the Cull to get a power spike, and actually you just sought the Cull to get the Immortal Shield Bow right away, and he would have money for another one, but you just delay the next power spike for a bit, and you actually want to be strong right now. Right?
That makes sense.
He is now Mythic against no Mythic is very, very strong for Slayer at least. I mean, assuming he hits his auto attacks, right? I mean, he has to, and so far we have seen Slows dodging quite a few of those. Either way now, in the overall
Slow should be
game
on
state,
item too, though. And once he goes back to base, Slow should be able to complete his Gale Force as well.
Yeah, he also finished his Cull, so he must have about the same amount of gold, right? I mean, it can't be any other way. Either way, in general, what worries me for Box is that they are slowly losing lanes again, and without SBTC really doing anything, actually these 1-2 skirmishes we have seen have been in the favor of Box. They are still even to slightly ahead in gold.
Yeah, and Box really missed the mark on this rotation here. SBTC just much quicker at rotating their bot lane into top, and so many platings almost for free. They got Herald and 3 platings in top lane, and now are going to lose one as well in mid lane. Maybe not quite. But yeah, this was just much better tempo read from the side of SBTC, kind of out of nowhere. Honestly, the bot lane looked better for the side of MBE, but they overstayed for a plating, very greedy. Got 1 plating in bot lane, but because their bot lane didn't reset in time, they lost so much on the top side, and suddenly it's 1.5k gold lead for SBTC.
Yeah, very, very expensive, of course, in that regard. They did deny the plating in the mid lane, as we just now saw, but it was also a TP usage by the side of Nugu, so at the end of the day, maybe not even worth. Maybe it's actually better to just don't TP and just accept that you lose another plating there. But they definitely do not want this Tristana to really get this free gold. Also interesting choice to go Demolish on Tristana, just to have this even stronger push. Tristana in general, not really a bad turret pusher either way. So that's one way for sort of SBTC Esports to get this early plating money, and yeah, 1000 gold they are ahead despite not winning a single skirmish in this game, but it's just laning and a bit better map rotation from their side. Also, maybe also something that just differentiates like the lower tier teams from the upper tier teams, as SBTC are looking to secure second place at least for now.
Yeah, and it's actually a huge improvement for SBTC, because last season, if you think back to them, they did have the players, right? They had Emperor in top lane, they had Dia in mid lane, Dia and K in jungle was always upper echelon junglers, but their macro and their team coordination looked really scattered. They looked like a solo queue team. So this improvement is not just their drafts that have been much better, their play has been better individually, but it's also their macro. And I think overall the VCS has really shot up in their macro understanding this year, with Team Secret and GAM, of course, pushing everyone super far, because they win almost every game just by having better map reads. As SBTC
that flashed.
He
had to flash the hook.
Yeah, he had, but they still have good positioning on this dragon, and I don't think... it looks like MBE does not want to give up the dragon easily. Lad needs to be careful not to overstep. He already used his flash. But yeah, look at this. Tom Rio just coming in to push the wave.
He will. And there's a free Stellar in the bot lane right now. It looked really good for the Drake positioning, as you said, for the sort of SBTC Esports. But I mean, now Summoner Spell being down yet again. And Box looks very ready for this Drake. If they take this, it's actually looking quite okay for them overall in the game. Both teams having very much scaling composition. And if they had secured another Drake, we would see that which soul will be, but I mean, regardless of which soul will be, every soul is win condition in my opinion. Can't really have too much wrong on this one. Here's the Nature's Guard coming in. Nice flash on the soul. It was actually a good shove as well, and he might survive due to the stasis.
Nugu is playing this game out of his mind, maybe the best game he has played, and now the counter engage. They spent every single thing they had in their arsenal on Nugu. Nugu now on the aggress. Oh, he hit the Zeri! That's another kill. Slater completely out of position there into Nugu, and what a game so far from the mid laner from MBE. They will be able to fight off the mid lane push and get the dragon number 2. So MBE equalizes the gold lead, 3-0 in kills. They must feel so super well in this game because, well, I mean, they're just winning all the skirmishes. And now my question is for the rest of the game, does SBTC actually want to teamfight? Because I'm looking at their composition, and yeah, Malphite wants to teamfight, Maokai can, but DR1 and this comp into the likes of Nugu, not sure if he really wants to fight.
It's kind of an awkward situation, right? On the one hand, you really want to fight because of Malphite, as you said, and DR1 is kind of in a weird position. As he's on an AD carry, you would usually assume that the late game scaling is definitely really great, as you will see the replay again with DNK getting caught out, and they actually hit the seismic show to Slater, so it's basically dead as soon as this happens. Shouldn't really flash. Accept your death. It's just fate at this point, and yeah, this just means MB Esports winning these skirmishes, being 2 Drakes ahead of them. They are scaling kind of iffy because it's actually like Aphelios doing a lot of work, as we addressed earlier, but also Tustalor usually wants to play this mid game with a lead, otherwise he kind of becomes a champion that doesn't really do much and just shoves waves and then is kind of useless, as her damage is not really that impressive without the Kraken Slayer at this point of the game. It will be an Ocean Soul this game, not the best soul we usually say, but I mean, every soul is a win condition, addressed it earlier. As long as you can't one-shot everyone, even the Ocean Soul has great value in those team fights.
Ocean Soul on double tank frontline is quite strong. I'm a certified hater of Ocean Soul, but Sejuani Casanti, yeah, that's one of the better comps for this soul. That's for sure.
Looking at Aphelios as well. I mean, Aphelios with Fresh won't just get one shot easily as long as they aren't inting, and he can just heal back up and everything.
Hate on Nugu. That's very good tanking from Palat. It's a bit scary for DNK, but Slater completely out of position. He does have his... No, he used his flash, and that's a 1-for-1. Man, MBE's defensive place in this game... No, never mind 1-for-1. They actually got a kill in bot lane too. What was going on over there? But that's a 2-for-1 on the map. Emperor doesn't have ultimate, so he can't get on top of him. And DNK... What?
Why are you there?
Huh?
How?
Everything about that interaction was weird. We don't talk about the hook, but why was DNK in so much trouble over there? That's 3 kills over to MBE, and they're just dominating this game.
Oh, then they dive without a minion with this backfire, but Emperor's not that tanky yet.
And so clean!
4-for-1. They are 7-1 in kills up. What kind of roll speed? It's just a 500 gold plus 2 Drake lead, and might just not be enough if they just keep winning small skirmishes and not really winning any bigger team fights. But Box Esports in general is so clean that they are really playing for. This hate onto Nugu is absolutely astonishing, and they are 3-1 him, just getting the kill there. I mean, they knew from earlier his stasis, his stopwatch was down, also his flash was down as well, and it's the first kill of the game for them actually. As Palat, we just not see him. He was part of this play, was getting chased down by Tomio, also Slater falling to the Cassandra in the mid lane. And then the play continued. DNK,
good collapse,
I mean, he didn't really... Actually, it wasn't that stupid. He was dead anyway.
No, it was just a really good collapse on Zodiac, because he cut off his way off into his own jungle, because Tomrio was chasing Braum off. He was quite far away, so if Zodiac doesn't come, I think DNK can probably just scuttle back into his own jungle, but very good coordination. They go bot lane instantly for another kill on the super tanky Emperor. So suddenly they're... I mean, the gold is actually still very close, confusingly, as the kill score reads 7-1. But of course, we talked about the laning disadvantages and the macro misplace.
If this would be like a team that plays these skirmishes and it's actually even in lanes and even in map protections, they would probably be like 4,000 or 5,000 gold ahead right now. And they kind of are, and which kind of worries me, as maybe SBTC can just stabilize and just scale back into the game. But so far, Box definitely looking good. I mean, just now losing this 1-2 to Tustalor seems kind of inevitable, but they also get the Rift Herald as a cross-map play on the other side of the map, so they can use this one. Also, potentially use this one as a distraction while the Drake is spawning, so SBTC Esports has to either defend this one or contest the Drake. They usually can't do both of those, and then potentially loot the mid lane T1 turret as a consolation prize for contesting the Dragon. Definitely a game where Box Esports can do a lot of damage, and so far, I mean, the Talia has been focused down very much so, and still only 1 death for us is looking very good. The top side also performing this game, as well as the bot lane. It's also one of Aegis Talia, which definitely scales a bit better than these other Talia builds that usually do, with these Everforce situations where they kind of just have another spell, but don't really have this direct damage output and not a single bit of tankiness.
question mark on this play. I don't really understand what's going on, but it doesn't matter. Nothing comes of it, and
Me neither.
SBTC is kind of lost on the map as MBE have White Gun and Herald to push down this tower. That's going to be a lot of gold funneled into Slows. Please, Dom Rio, step away. You gave the Herald over to Slows. Why are you... Huh? Huh?
It's the ADC within your mind being very, very triggered about this one. Give me solo gold, please. And
hey, he's 4-0. This Sejuani does not need the gold here.
Nah, this Sejuani absolutely needs that Frozen Heart, man. You can't convince me otherwise.
I'm a little bit disappointed. If this was Levi, I think Levi would definitely have snuck in sneaky little Majais here. Because honestly, at this point, he's so tanky. If he deals a little bit more damage in the mid-game, that's quite scary to deal with. So
at least the Dark Seal, right?
Yeah, at least the Dark Seal, and then upgrade it sneakily. When your teammates don't press tap, just put it in there.
There was like one Sejuani in NA, but I think it was Lever who was very upset on Sejuani and wanted to 1v1 the game, and he went like Lian with Torment on Sejuani just to have like this additional bit of damage. And back then it was also a penetration item. This shouldn't work. I mean, you don't really have the burn damage onto the Baron, but it maybe works. They deny the vision. Nobody really expected this one. Also, the Drake is up, so probably focusing on that one.
Yeah, Tom Rio
is around actually, but what if they just seek it anyway?
Oh, so early! What? Why so early? Tom Rio!
He didn't see anything. He just went in by luck, but he might just seal it.
Yeah, no. Okay, that's a horror. And there's the engage. Oh, that might be a bridge too far, because Los is in a really good position to kite. That's a 1-for-1. 1-for-1 is fine, of course, with... The Baron traded for the third Dragon now because better positioning for MBE, so they should just be able to walk down towards Dragon and get this one for themselves. So it's gold for SBTC and a little bit of power for the next few minutes, but in the long run should still be a decent enough position for MBE. Very interesting sneak there, and unfortunately Tom Rio just a bit too early. Didn't have a vision ward to give him intel on the HP, and yeah, he tried his best. You can't really flame him too much because he really tried his hardest.
He also got back in with the
flash. Was really bad.
Yeah, and this is just SBTC Esports. I mean, they just got the Baron. Actually, having a 1-for-1 is very, very okay for them. Dropping this Drake kind of inevitable, but they actually got a good consolation prize, getting some stability in this game. Actually, they are 2,000 gold ahead all of a sudden, and I can't really fault Tommy, right? He had no vision. He made a guess. It wasn't quite accurate, but it was actually almost good enough, right? I mean, it was very, very scary. About 3k HP gets into the pit. Actually, Arctic holds out, so it survives for now, and then flashes in for the right amount to have the smite fight. He was very close to winning that smite fight, I just gotta say, and then donates a huge shutdown to DNK, unfortunately. Or to DR1, sorry,
Yeah, but also want to praise SBTC for both the Baron call, because it's really cool, but also what they did with the Baron, because they knew the enemy team would be stronger in team fights and would be running to their third Dragon. And what did they do? They put both of their ADCs into side lanes and got 3 turrets, I believe. Or at least 2 turrets, 2 inner turrets, and now they're in a really good shape for the map to just advance into the enemy territory all the time. So it's going to be harder to set up dragons for MBE because their mid tower is, like, the wave is going to push into your inhibitor tower, so if you don't prepare the wave correctly, suddenly you have to deal with that mid lane positioning. So I really like how quickly SBTC recovered from being contested on this Baron, and with the shutdown going over to DR1, look at his itemization. Suddenly, he's looking like the late game threat already at 23 minutes.
He's close to 3 items all of a sudden. Yeah. Baron empowered Tristana with Demolish. Yeah, lives up to the name and absolutely demolishes those towers. If they look at it funny, it just dies in 2 seconds almost a sudden. And now, I mean, it's kind of a dirty play by SBTC to really just sneak this Baron and just rush it down, assuming MBE has no vision. I mean, and they were guessing correctly, right? I mean, kind of happens sometimes. And with that, a stabilizer they kind of don't deserve, but also do deserve, because, I mean, a bottom tier team with no confidence usually wouldn't go for these kind of plays, unless it would be like a complete Hail Mary. But SBTC was like, it's like a such low risk play, right? Assuming like they are going for the fight on the side of Box Esports, they probably can just pull away from the Baron, it will just reset and nobody gets the Baron, and that would be like a bit time spent, but not really a big loss either way, as they are fine with the scaling of the game in general. And Box Esports, while winning all these skirmishes, is still like they are 8-2 up in kills, by the way. Yeah. Never really propelled further ahead in gold. It was
look at their items
for them. Yeah, now that's what they are behind. I mean, Talia is definitely very, very farmed on this board of ages, right? Level 16 also to level 15 on DR1. But DR1 we just now addressed it. He's very, very scary, but they also slayed on 3 items.
Yeah, that's the big problem. And here's the engage under tower. I think SBTC is just looking for even more gold and map control with the tower. Yep, like to see them disengage here. No need to overchase and give the enemy team an opportunity to come back. IE should be done for slow, so he's ready and roaring to fight, ready to go for that all-important soul fight. But Quincy, do you want to see MBE fighting the soul fight immediately on this item breakpoint right now, or do you think they give up the next dragon and maybe fight the one after that?
It's a tough call because I think they actually do scale worse here if I look at these AD carries, if they're really propelling strongly into this game. Actually, I just now get a little bit triggered as I see the BT finished for the start of the year 1. I would have preferred the Infinity Edge, much rather so, for the direct damage output. But regardless of that one, I think they should just go for the soul, because I still value this Ocean Soul very, very highly for them. They have enough failures that gets protection. They have a Talia that doesn't get one-shot with this Word of Ages item build. And also these tanks definitely cannot die whatsoever in teamfight. And here we see the unstoppable force, but good flash from slows allows it to lead to absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's down for the dragon fight though. Now that's in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
That unstoppable force should be available again. Think so.
His flash
now
also is down.
Okay, MBE needs to punish now because they could potentially win the fight here and maybe get into a better position for the dragon. Slow stacked on his lethal tempo. They're quite strong here. Sunmer, don't overstep your welcome. I think they're fine. This should be the mid tower, which gives them better dragon control. Oh, the grab from Zodiac. They want to continue fighting. Here goes Sunmer. He's very deep. Oh, Sunmer too deep. DR1 gets interrupted. Can't chase into them. But now SBTC want to counter engage. Slater, very good dodge. Slater going forwards. He is stacked on his ulti. Oh, another flash. This might be too scary. No, he does have the damage. He does have the damage.
He does fight.
Yeah, and Slater, they might even be able to win the game here. They have a mid push. There's a wave. Everyone is dead on MBE side. They're coming back in 20 seconds. Quincy, have they done it? Have they just stolen the game?
It's demolished Tristana. It's 4 men, it's just 5 men actually TPing to the wave. They will just win the game right here. It's 5 for Demo basically. If they're getting the Reset City gun for the side of DR1 and Slater actually going for the ballsy play, fighting into the wet white affairs and just killing him before he can really heal back up. And this, after a very good showing overall by Vox Esports, unfortunately they lose the game right here, right now at the 27-minute mark. SBTC Esports, it looked kind of dirty, but they are just the